I will give you a line by line explanation of this very beautiful poem by Markus Natten, an American poet. To speak the truth, you might have seen and read, okay, many poems. From a very early age, when you were a baby, you read childhood rhymes, understood? In your, in 9, 10, you might have read other poems by other writers. But according to me, in class 11, the poem that you are going to read today is one of the finest. If you tell me, sir, how can you say the poem that I'm going to read today is one of the finest poems? Yes. It's a chance. I must not say this is a poem. It's a chance. See it as a chance to revisit your childhood days. At least set aside some time and see, look back into your past. The time when you were a child. Understood? Is that clear? Are you getting me? Listening? Okay. So, according to us, all of us love the best time of our life. What is the best time of our life? The best time, understood, of a human or a man's life. The best time of a person's life, of a man's life, is his childhood. The time when he was a child. Isn't it? The beginning of our life. Remember the days when you, as a child, used to sit in the laps of your parents. Think of how you played with those who mean the world to you. Not only your parents, your friends, the people who are in your life. Your world consisted of those who you mixed with, who you spent your time with, and even your parents and the nearest and dearest ones, and the beautiful world in which you lived. Right? And in those days, actually, you know what? Babies are the happiest living beings on earth. Why? You can ask me, sir, why do you think babies are the happiest? Yes, babies are the happiest living beings. Babies are the happiest. Understood? Why are they the happiest? Why do you think babies are the happiest living beings or happiest people or happiest? Understood? Once in the world, the reason is very simple. To them, the taste of real life, understood, is not known. The life that make you come face to face with reality. Understood? The life that is a battle. But in the beginning of your life, you are under the supervision of not only your elders, you are under the supervision of those who you think, understood, or who you know, or who actually you can call the society. Understood? You are under the supervision of the society. And who are the people that take care of you then? When you are a baby, your uncle, the teachers in your school, understood? Your neighbors, uncles, aunts, they all keep and watch on you. During your growing up years, you are being looked after by not only the four eyes of your sweet home, the eyes of those, understood, who you don't know how much they love, understood. And children are actually regarded, understood, as the purest living beings on earth. They are the purest living beings, purest creatures, the purest ones on earth. Why? Because the babies never harm others. And during their growing up years, as babies, they always, to them, the world is a world of joy. They see the world as a land of happiness. Right from the time when they wake up and to the time when they go to bed. Understood? They enjoy each and every second of their life. Sometimes they play the whole day away. If they dance a particular time of the day. Understood? They enjoy whatever they do, they enjoy that time, that period, that evening or that morning of the day to their heart's content. If they sing, they enjoy singing to their heart's content. If they dance, they enjoy dancing to their heart's content. If they read or write or whatever they do it to their heart's content. So, now can you say that childhood is not the best time of your life?
Yes.
Because whatever you do to your heart's content. If a child eats, he eats to his heart's content, because in the beginning of our life we have a body free from disease. Understood? Disease free human body. When do we have that? We have most of the people. There are some babies who actually get some disease by birth, but there are most of the babies, understood, their bodies are disease free. Understood? That's why they can run wherever, they can run at high speed or at the top of speed. Understood? They do with this when if you are physically fit. Understood? Your physical fitness, understood, allow you to enjoy, understood, your life to your heart's content. And in the beginning of our life, when we are babies, we are physically fit, understood, to do whatever we can, understood, whatever we want. Naturally, you enjoy your baby days or your childhood days to your heart's content. Is that clear? So, another very important thing, if you look at the psychological side, or if you just, I would like you to understand very simple, I don't like to drag it further. What I want to tell you, pure babies are pure, understood? They are pure souls. Clear? They have not tasted the impurity of the human existence. They do not think bad about others. They don't think of doing harm to others. They don't think of harming others. Understood? They don't think of, they are always well wisher. Understood? They are not, they are, most of them are well intentioned. They are not ill intentioned. Understood? They must not do you harm. Right or not? So, babies actually are the owners of the pure hearts. Understood? This is why the childhood days, sometimes when you are a child, to you, heaven, hell exist. Understood? Children believe that there is heaven, there is existence of heaven, existence of hell. Why? Their elders actually tell them, don't do this. If you do this, what will happen? Those who make mistakes, they go to hell. Understood? And there is a god called Jam. Jam, if you have made some mistakes, जम के लिए वो नहीं होगा हजम. आपका दुष्टामी, your stupidity, naughtiness will not be acceptable to the god Jam, and he will come and will take you to hell. And if you perform good deeds, like our parents always frighten us into doing good things, right or not? They sometimes, actually, in reality, they deceive us into believing in the existence of hell, heaven. Those who perform good deeds, they will go to heaven, and those who perform bad deeds, they will go to hell. So, your good life depends on good karmas. We are actually educating our babies from the very beginning of their life, isn't it? From a very early age, they start learning, understood things that actually they carry for a certain period of time. But as soon as this poem actually tells us that when he became 12, understood, when the person or the baby turns 12 years old, now he starts becoming adults. Understood? Like his early childhood beliefs start disappearing from his life. Understood? He stopped believing in what he believed as a baby. He starts beginning to believe in new things as adults. When the babies actually depend on the advice of their elders. And now, when they become adults, they stop believing in all those things that they believed as babies. Understood? Do you get it? And this is the reason why the poet is saying, when he becomes adult, when a child becomes adult, understood, he has become the owner of his own decision. He becomes the maker of his own decision. And now he feels free to go whichever way he wants. He doesn't have to depend on the advice of others to know what to do and what not to do, where to go and how to go. Do you get it? He doesn't want to be told. He doesn't depend on someone to tell him, or he doesn't want to be told what to do and what not to do. Where to go and where not to go. Do you get it what I'm telling you? This is the time of awareness. Adulthood is the time when you stop believing in those things that you believed in as a baby, as a child. You no more depend on the advice of others. You don't depend on others to tell you what to do and what not to do, because adulthood has informed you about the reality of life. Now you don't believe in the existence of heaven and hell. To you, everything is very clear. Understood? Everything. And your childhood notion, your childhood belief disappeared permanently. Do you get it? And now, another very beautiful thing about, about a very nice thing that the poet, discussed or told is that adults, when he became an adult, when a man becomes adult, when a baby grows into an adult, understood, what generally happens is that boy, understood, now understands the reality of their life. What is the reality? The reality is that he now knows that the elders are not all they thought they were. It is because the elders do not practice what they preach. They do not practice what they preach. They are not all understood that they believed they were as babies. Understood? So his perception about life, notion about life, completely changed. And he has turned into a changed man. The He understood that the existence of heaven and hell cannot be found in geography. Understood? So, the poet finally what he does is he actually laments for his childhood days. He says that yes, he has lost his childhood days. Sometimes the problem of our reality of life, understood, makes our life, understood, so unbearable, so difficult that sometimes we ourselves, most of the adults admit that the days of childhood should be brought back. Understood? He feels sad. He displays deep sadness for the loss of the beauty of the childhood days or childhood innocence. Now, the hard reality has changed him into a man who sometimes lies for existence, who sometimes does something that he himself admits is not good. Understood? It is what we sometimes do, even though we know doing this is harmful, cheating others is harmful, deceiving others is bad. Understood? Sometimes we are left with no alternative except to do those things that we think that human actually shouldn't do. We sometimes go against our will. We don't want, we sometimes do what we should not. Why? For existence. But only the poet at the same time says, at last, that to revisit your childhood, what should you do? You need to look at the smile on the face of a baby. That's how we can revisit. Because when the childhood days, understood, disappear from life, our life, human life, they are hardly remembered. I myself can remember only a few incidents of my childhood days, but I can remember only few things, but not all. A to Z can't be understood, remembered. If you have forgotten that, you have forgotten that permanently. You cannot go back to those days. However hard you may try, can you be a child again? Is it possible? No. So to revisit your childhood or to see the beauty of your childhood, you need to see the smile on an infant's face. That's how you can revisit your childhood. Okay, so I have completed my lecture on the introduction of the poem, or you can see it as a short summary. Now I would like to recite the poem. Okay, should I start? How many do you think, like number?
42.
40.
42.
Okay. So is that clear now? Have you got a clear, a good lecture about the poem? I think summary at least. Now I'm going to start. Marcus Natten. Childhood by Marcus Natten.
Hmm.
When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Was it the time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? In the first lines, it's very clear. The poet displays his sadness for his childhood days. When did my childhood go? When you say things like that, it seems as if, as a human being, the poet felt sad. He wanted to go back to those beautiful days of childhood. In his childhood days, he might have enjoyed life to his heart's content, which now, as an adult, is beyond his reach. And you feel as if the poet is comparing the beauty of childhood days understood with the beauty understood with the hard realities of his manhood or adulthood. Is that clear? Was it the day I ceased to be 11 when he became 12? It means when the poet is 12 years old. Is it when he turned 12 that he lost his childhood? Is that clear? Was it the time I realized the hell and heaven could not be found in geography and therefore could not be? Was that the day? It is a question, rhetoric question, you know. These questions are generally asked, but this question doesn't demand an answer. Understood? These questions are asked just to express the state of mind the poet was in. Understood? He actually shares his sadness for the loss of his beautiful days as a child. Do you understand? And hard realities of life might have hurt him so hard that he was left with no alternative except to revisit his childhood days. Understood? So he says the geography, the existence of hell and heaven cannot be found in geography. Now, as an adult, he understood hell and heaven that they don't have geography or location. Do you get it? Physical location. Another thing is, therefore could not be, was that the day. It means, as an adult, he understood that heaven and heaven and hell do not exist in reality. Clear? When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love, but did not act so lovingly. Was that the day? Another thing the poet wants to say is that when did he lose his childhood? Then he comes to mention a particular time. And what is the time? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seem to be? Adults were not all they seem to be. Why? They talked of love, preached of love, but didn't act or did not act so lovingly. It means he understood what the elders say. The elders do not practice what they say. His idea about life is very clear. When we become adults, what we believe to be true as children disappear. The beliefs in those things disappear permanently. Understood? This is why I think the poet feels sad because of this. What I believed as a child to be true is untrue. Now, what I believed to be true when I was a child is actually
Not.
untrue, is false. What I believed to be true as a child is false, do not exist. Who I thought to be the best person or ideal, understood, or role model, in reality, he is not who I thought him to be. Understood? So, when the reality surfaced, now he feels like going back to those early childhood days. He feels like revisiting. He is not happy at all as an adult. Understood? Because his perception of life, understood, or his notion about reality, understood, of life surfaced. He now understands. He now understands what is what. What is what? Okay. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine? To use whichever way I choose, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but mine, my own, and mine alone. Was that the day? Like earlier, I already told you, children depend on the advice of their elders. They wait for their parents to tell them when to go to school, when to get ready, when to brush your teeth. Understood? They depend on their parents. They don't depend on themselves because they do not have understood the ability to make their own decision about something that they want to do. They wait for their parents to tell them to get ready. They wait for their parents to tell them when to clean their teeth, how to get ready, how to polish their boots and all. Understood? That's how they do everything. Clear? Until they grow into adult, they depend on their elders. Now is the time when they don't depend on the what? On what the others will tell them to do. Now they feel free to make their own decisions as they have become adults, so they don't need the advice of others to live their life, isn't it? Even we also catch our parents, including elders, telling us, "You are mature, mature your feelings, fit to do everything on your own. Why do you want us to tell you what to do and what not to do? Are you still a baby? And it's not nice to be told that you are a baby. Is it nice to be told that you are a baby? Are you a baby even now? Why do you wait to be told what to do, what not to do? Isn't it? Why do you wait to be told? Don't wait to be told what to do and what not to do. You are mature enough. You matured your feelings. Is that clear? Now, that is why the poet, due to his sadness, again he asks himself another question, rhetoric question, and this question is, when did my childhood go? It means when he is mentioning time, it means he shows that he doesn't understand when he has lost his childhood. When he is using when, what it means is that when you are mentioning time, मैं कब गंवा दिया अपना बचपन। मैं छोटा था तो अच्छा था, और मोटा से भी बोला जाता है अच्छा। मैं छोटा था तो मोटा था। मोटा का मतलब ये नहीं है कि मोटू आदमी जैसे कि मैं। डू यू अंडरस्टैंड? इट डजंट मीन दैट अ फैट पर्सन। छोटा था तो मोटा था, छोटा था अच्छा था, बेहतर था। आई वॉज बेटर एज अ चाइल्ड, much better, because when I have become an adult, the hard realities make me understand life is totally different from who I was as a child, from the imaginations of the childhood days. Understood? Made me believe the world to be the finest heaven and earth. In a child's eye, understood, or in the eyes of the children, this world is the most beautiful place on earth. Understood? But as soon as they reach manhood or adulthood, their thoughts, their imaginations about the reality of life, clear, make them turn into people who lament, understood, for the loss of the most beautiful time of their life. And the same thing happened with a poet. Poet, this is why always bringing the interrogative pronoun when to ask the rhetoric question. What is this? When did my childhood go? When you are saying, when did my childhood go? बचपना मेरा बचपन का दिन कब चला गया? जैसे कि शायरी बोलते समय आपको ऐसा ही कुछ शायर बोला होगा ऐसा, कहां खो दिया वो बचपन के दिन जब मेरे लिए जिंदगी एक स्वर्ग हुआ करता था। लेकिन वास्तवता ने मुझे ऐसा सलाह और ऐसा दुख और ऐसे दुखित किया कि मैं हर समय सोचता रहता हूं क्यों ना मैं बेबी बन जाऊं। That is how rhetoric questions are asked just to make him understood, feel light. Understood? This is the reason he found it important to use the rhetoric question. He was tired of life, tired of his existence. He was tired of hard realities. He was tired of, the life as an adult. And this is why he says, when did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine? Was it that time when I understood that my mind was my own? Understood? It doesn't belong to others. I don't have to depend on the mind of others to live my life. Understood? I have to depend on my own ideas, own mind to do whatever I want. Understood? To use whichever I choose, it means to go wherever I want. I don't need the advice of others. I can make use of my own brain, of my own mind. Understood? Producing thoughts that are not those of other people. It means I will depend on my own thoughts. Now my mind is capable enough to produce the thoughts that can help me live my life. To do anything I want, I need to depend on my own ideas, own thoughts, own beliefs. Understood? I don't have to take opinion like I took as a baby from my parents. Like I waited to be told what to do and what not to do. I don't need any advice now. I can lead my life my way. I don't need anybody to tell me what to do and what not to do. So, producing thoughts that were not those of other people, but my own, mine alone. It means, as an adult, now I understood that my mind is enough to help me to make my own decision. I don't have to depend on the advice or ideas or of others. Clear? To do anything I want. Was that the day? The day on which I realized the reality of human life. Was it that particular day? The reality of life generally is understood as a man. When I grew into a man, understood, or turned into a man. Where did my childhood go? It went to some forgotten place. It means the poet finally thinks that he has lost his childhood. It went to some forgotten place. That's hidden in an infant's face. It means we can revisit our childhood when we see the smile on the face of the baby. That's all I know. This is all he knows about life, about the reality of what he lost. Sorry, everybody. I'm sure today's class must have made you happy. You must have enjoyed today's class to your heart's content. If you believe and if you think the class that I have taken today, the poem that I read and explained, understood, or that I tried to give, describe to you, understood, benefited you. I don't know whether I have given you a very nice line by line explanation of the poem or not, but I believe that I tried to do justice. Understood? If you think that I have done justice to the poem, please don't hesitate to give at least one like. And those of you who are still living in the hope of subscribing to my channel, I must say, don't waste your time living in the hope of subscribing to my channel. Do today what you think of doing tomorrow. Don't put off till tomorrow. Please subscribe me or subscribe to my channel. The name of my channel is Indian English with Tanmay. I know that you must subscribe to my channel today. Understood? With this, I come to the end of my class. I am sure that you have enjoyed it. Bye for the next class.